And don't tell the other homesteading channels I said this because it's blasphemy. I don't like it at all. I tried several different types of teas and hiding it in juice and ugh. Well, hello and welcome to Teal House Farm. The big girls are finishing up their school. Patton is just playing, little girls are still napping, and Annie has already finished her school, so she's having a little bit of iPad time while the big girls finish their extra things. Today, we've already been to our homeschool group this morning and played, so that was fun. We do that once a month. We go and meet with local homeschools. It's not a structured class or anything, it's just kind of playtime so the kids can meet other homeschoolers and make some connections, so that was good. And then after that, that was down the street from Grandma's house, so we went to Grandma's for lunch, and now we're back home and then finishing up our school lessons for the day. And when the girls are done with this lesson, I'm actually going to start a new project. I'm wanting to make some elderberry syrup. Since Christmas is coming soon, and with that tends to come passing around of sniffles between family members, seeing if maybe just using some elderberry syrup for this month will help strengthen our immune systems a bit, especially since Annie has surgery coming up in January. We want to try to stay as healthy through this Christmas season as possible. We actually have elderberries here on the farm, and before I've used them to make jelly. It is absolutely delicious. Almost has like a blueberry flavor. I'll link that video below if you've ever wanted to try to make elderberry jelly. But this fall we picked our elderberries and I just froze them so that I could make syrup this year close to Christmas time. So that's what we're going to do today. So Micah, what is your favorite part of being a homeschooler?
Probably that I get to, probably that I get to make more friends.
You get to make more friends?
We go to the play place a lot. We make new friends, but we only get to see them once in a lifetime. One time I made a friend at a park, and we went to the store and then we saw her again. But then
That's true, we did. Ivy, what is your favorite part of being a homeschooler?
Probably not having a demanding teacher.
Mommy's not a demanding teacher?
No. At school, when you get a demanding teacher, they don't even help you. That's offending for teachers. That's offending.
Offending. Okay, Ivy, what's your least favorite part about being a homeschooler?
Probably doing school this one. Unless it's a science experiment. Then you'll be spoiled.
It's true. If you don't do school, what happens?
I'll get all lazy.
You'll get lazy. Micah, what's your least favorite part of being a homeschooler?
Probably having to probably just school. I don't like school.
You don't like school?
But math, like when I do my math book, I actually get it done easy peasy.
You do. You're very good at math.
It takes like 2 minutes.
You're very good at math. So today we're finished. This is the last thing that, well, no, you still have writing. Last thing Micah has today is geography. And we do geography together, and we have been learning about Sweden. And so the final thing in each country that we learn about with this curriculum is they do a craft project. And today we're making, we colored the crown jewels of Sweden, and now we're making horses.
How do I do this?
And let's see here.
I don't want to pick my horse away, but I don't.
Because it's the Swedish Dala horse.
Ooh.
And
can I color my
so we have a little lesson we're going to read in a second about why we're making this, and then we're going to make the craft.
Can I make my 10,000 years later? 100 years later in the past.
We always have problems with tape, don't we? Good job. Okay, all done. We're ready to cook. So I'm going to use a recipe from the Wellness Mama. It comes really highly recommended to me by my sister-in-law, who makes elderberry syrup every year. So I cannot give my personal recommendation of this recipe yet, but it comes recommended from somebody I really trust with these sort of things, and I'll link the actual recipe below. But what we are going to need are several cups of water, and then we have our frozen elderberries, so I'm going to have to measure these out and figure out how many I have so I can adjust the recipe. Cinnamon, ginger, and ground cloves. And then obviously some sort of container to store it in. You can use mason jars. I have some kind of cool little glass bottles I'm going to use, like old-fashioned soda bottles. I think that'll be good for them. But let's get cooking and I'll go through the recipe with you. Okay, first thing we need to know how many elderberries we actually have. So I froze it in these reusable silicone bags, and they actually did really well. It's not covered in freezer burn or anything like that. They've been in there since September, so it's 3 months. But it looks like we have exactly a cup and a half. We are going to pour in our elderberries, and then we need 3½ cups of water. 2 tablespoons of ginger. Ginger also having a lot of anti-inflammatory benefits, so good addition even though it is kind of a strong flavor. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. And looks like it also has some honey in here. I didn't see that when I first went through it, but that makes sense because I was just thinking, gee, this is going to be hard to get down. It's going to be so unsweet. Got it in there. Give it a little mix. We're going to bring it to a boil and then cover and simmer for about 45 minutes, it says. We're going to get the elderberries nice and cooked and then strain them out and be left with the syrup. Okay, so while we are waiting on that, since that's kind of a big project, I'm going to go ahead and cook dinner, I think. So tonight's plan, I've been marinating some pork chops. See some vegetables. What kind of vegetables? We have been on a quest, or I have been on a quest to increase the number of vegetables in our diet. So been adding them to our breakfast, and then what I've been doing, instead of doing dinners being like a meat, a starch, and a vegetable, sometimes 2 starches, carb starches, I'm doing a meat, 2 vegetables, and maybe a starch. So pork chops that I've been marinating in the fridge, they are in our homemade apple syrup, which I can up using apple cores and peels each year, left over from when I can the apples from our apple tree, and then some spicy mustard and Worcestershire sauce and ketchup, kind of just make a marinade with that. And they've been there, and I've been flipping them around in the fridge today, so we're going to grill those in the cast iron pan. We're going to do some green beans, some sweet potatoes. These I'm going to oven roast with some seasoned salt, and these I'm going to peel and chop up and cook in just a little bit of butter with some cinnamon, which makes them taste pretty sweet, even if you don't add any honey. And then in the oven are some dinner rolls. So I tried making, so I made dinner rolls a few weeks ago, and the recipe makes so many, and I read online that you can do like the first rise with them and then freeze them and then do the second rise in the oven from frozen. It takes a little bit longer, and then cook them, but I'm not really convinced it's going to work because they seem to have shrunk a lot when they were being frozen. So we'll see what happens. But if they are a total fail, then we'll just have some sliced bread with butter. here. Now we're just going to dump this through a strainer. Just a minute, please.
Wait, are we gonna make noodles?
So we can separate the berries out. Okay, it made this large bottle and then a little bit in this jelly jar. These jars are actually really neat sealing. I bought these for back when I was making kombucha, and I stopped making kombucha because, and don't tell the other homesteading channels I said this because it's blasphemy, I don't like it at all. I tried several different types of teas and hiding it in juice, and it smells like beer to me, and I don't drink beer. I don't even like how it smells, and so every time I just crack it open, it just even the smell, I didn't even want to drink it. So kombucha making days are over, but these cool little glass jars are pretty much perfect for storing the syrup. So it's cooled down enough that we're going to put these in the fridge and just keep them there. And I'll have to check. I think you take a teaspoon every morning is the idea. I'll double check that. But it's supposed to be an immune system boost. Hopefully keep us healthy through Christmas so that everything stays on schedule with Annie's upcoming surgery. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.